Let me get it real quick. So we'll go back to 4.1, consideration of First Amendment to Memorandum of Understanding between the Lake County Sanitation District and Earth Foundries Incorporated for operations and placement of a mobile pyrolysis unit carbonizer in Middletown. We have CDD Director Turner and Special Districts Administrator Bore.
Maria Turner, Community Development Director. The extra item you have before you today is to make a tiny modification to a memorandum of understanding for Lake Osan. I don't know if you switched your hats, but this is for Lake Osan.
Shall I? Yes. Okay. So we are reading this and addressing this as the Lake County Sanitation District.
Earth Foundries Incorporated has been in continual operation of a single carbonizer, which is processing the vast amounts of trees and wood down in the Lake Osan property in Middletown. They have a deadline coming up and a lot of wood to burn before April 30th. And so they looked into and were able to secure a second carbonizer, which will help to increase the amount of wood that they can process in a 24-hour period. We did take a look at the impacts. The main impact would, by adding this carbonizer, would be air quality impacts. And so the Lake County Air Quality Management District did do their calculations and are comfortable with operation of this second one. We then realized that we needed an adjustment to the Memorandum of Understanding because it only accounts for one carbonizer, and so you have a modification, the first modification to that Memorandum of Understanding before you today. It has been vetted by County Council, and I do have a version signed by the contractor in digital format that I forwarded to Johanna. And Special District Administrator is more familiar with this project ongoing than I am, so I would defer to her for any questions.
Any questions from the board? Supervisor Sabatier?
This is an easy one. There was just one thing, and you and I spoke about this earlier. Obviously, your team has reviewed any impacts. I'm assuming based on the air quality controls response that it's a CEQA exempt process. Does that need to be in one of the whereases? Because in the original, there's nothing regarding the potential impacts of the project, and in this one there's not, and we're adding more. And since that statement was made, I'm wondering if we need to put it in there, or since this is a lease rather than a project itself, if it doesn't even belong there.
We do have a notice of exemption that was already filed, so we'll amend that. But it doesn't, the CEQA evaluation is not part of the Memorandum of Understanding.
Okay.
Oh, additionally, there are a couple contingencies for air quality to be comfortable with the second carbonizer, and that is that no additional wood will be imported for processing at this location, and that the existing wood and the carbonizer will both maintain their current setbacks from the creek, and that it is a hard deadline to be done at April 30th.
All right. If there's no more questions, I'll open it up to the public. Hearing no public input, I'll bring it back to the board. I don't know, Robin, if you had anything you wanted to add.
Well, just that there is significant room to add another carbonizer. There's a lot of wood that needs to be burned. And this will help mitigate some additional issues we've been having with people kind of breaking into the plant and cutting up the wood and absconding with it, which is kind of counterintuitive of what this process is supposed to be doing. So we fully support a second one being put there and disposing of the wood correctly.
All right. All right, seeing no other comments, if there's any action that we'd like to take.
I move that we approve the First Amendment to the MOU between Lake County Sanitation District and Earth Foundries, Inc. for operations and placement of a mobile pyrolysis unit carbonizer in Middletown, and authorize the chair to sign.
Mr. Chair, if I may.
Lloyd?
Oh, sorry. I apologize. So I just wanted to make sure because I think what was posted on Granicus was a previous draft, and I'm confirming with Director Turner if that's the case, right? Prior to the revisions that was approved as to form. And I'm strictly going by me pulling it up. And so that for purposes of the motion, if what's being submitted to the board is the what is the approved as to form version, it would be as amended, only because.
As amended.
Thank you.
Okay. Second. And I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Can I ask a question first? Just, the only difference is a signature? There's no difference in any of the text?
There are differences with the text, and either Director Turner or I could walk.
I would
your board
prefer that
through,
we
right.
know exactly what was changed compared to what's on our agenda, just to at least, if we don't know, then obviously the public doesn't know.
I defer to county council.
So the first change would be on the first recital, where after the phrase "original agreement," there's added in parentheses agreement, so for better reference in with a capital A, so that the original agreement would be referring to the agreement. And then the second change would be on what's being amended. It would, that the amendment document would state that the section 1 of the agreement is hereby amended to state the following. And so that's in reference to the initial agreement with a capital A. And so section 1 would then be amended to state that the mobile pyrolysis unit processing program in Lake County, California shall include operation of 2 carbonizer units, and in parentheses, carbonizer, at the Lake Sand property. The property chosen for the operation of the carbonizer is owned and controlled by the Lake County Sanitation District, in parentheses, Lake Sand, at the address of 20126 Highway 175, Middletown, California. And those are the only changes for purposes of the amendment.
Just a brief question. Do we need to change the title to "and placement of 2 mobile pyrolysis"? Because the title is A, mobile. Just thought I'd ask before we approve.
I used the original title in order to indicate First Amendment.
And that would be fine because the substance itself essentially changes, references 2 carbonizer units as the carbonizer with a capital C.
Thank you.
All right. So I still have the same motion and second. You're good with that? All right, so I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0-0.